Yeah, so I said new technology. We're not sure what just happened, but it just went blank
It
on our
just went
side.
completely blank.
So we're just going to say that was the shortened version. Although we didn't tell you anything about what happened, where we are like right now.
Oh my God, you guys. It just went completely blank. I don't know what happened.
So turn it before you lose it again.
It won't lose again. I don't know if the internet cut off. Anyway, this one was this at the hospital? No, this was when this is when he was getting his stitches taken out. Wait, hold on. Yeah, can you see? This is when he was getting his stitches taken out from his lip. This was a week later. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Oh God, that was a few days into it. You guys, look at that. Is that insane?
Yeah, if somebody tries to stitch up your mouth or your lip, do anything you can to avoid the Novocaine. That Novocaine shit was just fucking
This
brutal.
was when we got to the emergency room.
Dinner almost ready.
Dinner's ready. Serve yourself. So
there's Jakey.
What?
Yeah, so shit show. That was a shit show.
It was.
Got 6 stitches right there.
Yeah.
And stop your chirping, dog, please. Anyway. Jake worked 4 hours today, so he's exhausted.
Babysitting kids.
No, he didn't have kids today.
Oh, he didn't have any kids. He was at the... Were you making calls, Jake?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happened, and we're like, shit. And that
who
took...
helped with that, huh?
You did. We talked about you already. You were amazing. And you did get recognition. You did. Thank God for you. And then we were... No, there's no meat in it. That's the point of Meatless Monday.
I hate that.
You got some friends in that area.
Anyway, so that's when I will say the mental status of my husband was already tanking. It went supremely tanking at that moment. And that's when I thought, I don't think we're going to be playing this game very much longer. All right, honey? He's taking his meds now. He just leaves. He just leaves from time to time. No explanation. Come sit down, for God's sake.
Oh, stop being so dramatic.
And then we went to Orlando, came back.
I had my seizure meds unless you want me to show it on TV.
Oh, we don't want to have a seizure on TV.
And then I can re-injure myself. Wine, water, and...
Kipra. It doesn't have that good of a ring. It doesn't have a good ring to it.
Sorry.
So anyway, fast forward. Get over that hump. We're trying to figure out mental state. I'm trying to help him get a little lifted because he's feeling very down, very hopeless. Not a lot of fight left. Would you say that's fair?
It's fair.
Fair. Which led to our come to Jesus moment, which we'll get to in a little bit. But medical update, in case you're wondering. We went to the doctor today. So we were in Maryland. So we've been traveling a lot too. Went to Orlando for a week. Then came back. And 3 days later went to Maryland to see Mumana Boy.
All right, ADD. Did you want to go through and do the long story after so they can watch it? Or do you want to do that now?
I was going to talk about how we got to the medicine today. Okay. Which is part of the story.
Well, it's part of the long story. Where you said you wanted to do a short part. And
okay,
then
give the short part.
So short part was today we went back in, did the MRI, and like the last one, we saw a little bit of growth, which we expected, but it was slow growth, nothing like it was, a year, 2 years ago.
No, actually, it is. And so to the point of the care protocol, people say, why are you still doing that? It's clearly not working. But in my opinion, your cancer is so aggressive that the fact that it's growing as slowly as it is, with doing our maintenance without another weapon in the chamber, another bullet in the chamber,
yeah,
I think you would not be here now. Honestly, what do you think?
Probably.
I think it is,
or it would be a lot worse.
Yeah, it's grown incredibly slow. Given.
Yeah, that's a bullet we don't want to take off the.
No.
That's an arrow we don't want to take out of the quiver.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
So today we go back in and he says, yeah, it's still growing, but it's really, really slow. And, you know, Pam, in the meantime, along with my godmother, stepmother, have done some research on some new medication that Pam had wanted to get me on, and organized that with a doctor ahead of time, and then came in with a bunch of questions.
It's not FDA approved. It's a clinical trial. It's just starting phase 2, but it's been fast tracked by the FDA to get approval, which in our CF experience is a really good sign. That means this shit is good. And so I've been doing a super deep dive into it to try to learn more about it. And it was in Houston. And the way that you have to do this clinical trial, he doesn't qualify to be in it. Like we said earlier, if you've done other things, they don't want you because they want a clean slate. They want to know that what they're studying is working despite other things that might be brewing in there. So he doesn't qualify for the clinical trial, but they have compassionate use as an option. So, but it's in Houston. It's based out of Houston, and it's a 21-day cycle. You do 3 days of 2-hour infusions every 18 days. So you do 3 days, take 18 days off, 3 days, 18 days off. It's not like shit. How are we going to do that? Going back and forth to Houston. That's not conducive to a quality of life. And so make some more noise.
Okay, I will.
And so then I started deeper diving and found that it's in 3 places: Houston, Colorado, Atlanta. So they actually are doing it in Atlanta at Piedmont. So I was like, well, shit, let's get...
With a doctor we know.
So I was like, let's get the compassionate use thing. So I'm going back and forth to his doctor and saying, this is what we need to get. Let's go. Let's get it. And so then he says, well, wait a second. There's this other medication that's in the same family. It's not been studied for glio, but it's really, really effective with other cancers, like in the gynecological world, ovarian and such. So, of course, that doesn't address the blood-brain barrier situation. So he says, this one's already FDA approved. It's the same family. I can get that going like now. We don't need to wait for compassionate use and try to get it approval, blah, blah, blah. So
we went in today he got us pre-approved through insurance to start on that and do the Avastin at the same time.
Because Avastin, his body responds.
In the meantime, really Pam had researched this other one, Berubicin.
Berubicin. That's the clinical trial.
Right. No, what?
Berubicin's the clinical trial.
Oh, well, this one was, this one's FDA approved. Yeah.
Doxorubicin.
Right, so the Berubicin, what she found was that was so effective. It seemed to be crossing the blood-brain barrier. So she went in with a thought today. We went in saying, look, let's present to him. We would rather, go for this other one.
Like, lobby for the compassionate use, get approval from the pharmaceutical company, get approval from the FDA. What I read online, it didn't seem like that was impossible. But he said it takes quite a long time. And what he said was, Doxil has been used. And I found a study that was, he said it hasn't been studied on people with GBM, but I found a study where it was studied actually with 2 people with GBM. Very little tiny study. And it had really, really great results, but it didn't study crossing the blood-brain barrier. What this study is the 2 patients they had did a resection. They took the tumor out, so they studied it in the petri dish, and then they also my scientist son is like, you're an idiot. And then they did an infusion straight into the brain, so there was no crossing of the blood-brain barrier. In the petri dish, it showed the medication eating the cancer cell, the GBM cell, within hours, and then within a couple weeks, like gone, destroyed. So we're like, holy shit, okay, this would be amazing, but we don't know if it crosses, right? So we were talking to him about that today. I said, well, if we don't know if it crosses, and he said, what did he say?
I don't know.
He said,
that's why you were there.
He said, it's never been studied on GBM, so we don't know if it crosses. And he said, this tiny little pharmaceutical company, they didn't have the funding to study it for GBM. So we don't know if it does or not. Berubicin does. Doxorubicin, we don't know if it does. But he said, people give a lot of credit to the blood-brain barrier that maybe isn't so important. And also, basically in a nutshell, he didn't say it this way, but in a nutshell, what he said is, his blood-brain barrier is probably shit anyway, because it's been going to war for almost 3 years. So the chances that it's a solid shield, probably not high.
Not so good, yeah.
Probably not high. So he's
I got that going for me anyway.
I know. If you want to look at the silver lining, you don't have a blood-brain barrier anymore. So we were like, okay, let's go then. And so he started on this, the Visudyne, which I wish we had a picture. I never went with him, but it was like this neon green Hulk. Oh, you did send me a picture at one point.
I think I did. I must have one.
I said that was like the Hulk juice.
Do we look?
I'll get it.
Okay.
And then today it was really red, and I was like, that's like the Iron Man juice. So
I always liked Iron Man.
I just need Thor. Between Thor and Iron Man.
Well, Black Panther's my favorite, so the next one needs to be black.
Oh. Ooh.
That might be scary going in.
That might be real scary. And then they said today, if you end up, when you pee and it's bright red, don't be alarmed. Like, I'm glad.
I can't tell anyway.
I'm glad you can't. That's true. I don't look at your pee, so I guess that's okay.
I do flush.
Usually.
Always. Middle of the night ones, maybe not as much.
You don't, middle of the night. But.
Conserving water,
It is a good thing to conserve water.
Save the planet thing.
Save the planet. So, we're going through the Marvel characters, one by one.
Yep. Hopefully we don't need to get past Iron Man. He's a badass.
I know, but nobody's mad about Thor.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll post what?
Your blood.
I know. I cut myself cooking. Still bleeding. Anyway, here is the.
That's the last times.
No, well, the last three scans. I'll just show you, and I'll post them too. But May, June, July. May, June, July. May. If you can see, this is the angry area. June, a little bit bigger. July, it's pressing a little bit more. So it's pressing a little bit back here, which, here's another view. May, June, July. It's causing some issues with mobility. His fine motor skills are challenged.
Left hand is very challenged. So if I'm at work someday and you guys see me and my shirt's not buttoned, that wasn't intentional, but it's really hard to button shirts for sure. And tying shoes is challenging too. Anything that requires the left hand to operate with the right hand is not easy. So every now and then my hand will I feel like I'm in Talladega Nights.
He's like, I don't know
what to do with my hands. They just kind of rise up. The left hand just operates on its own.
We went to LA last weekend for his uncle's celebration of life, and which was amazing, and we're so glad we got to make it there. But he was so pissed off in the airport because he was like, motherfucker, I have a jeans on and underwear without a penis pocket. You called it a pecker pocket, I think.
Yeah.
But so every time he went to the bathroom, we were like, Jesus Christ, how long is he going to stay in there? It's like he couldn't get unbuttoned, he couldn't get rebuttoned.
My pants unbuttoned and then buttoned up again was taking like 20 minutes. Fucking killing me.
Yeah. So, that's the update. That's the medical update. We have growth. We have progression. It's slow.
We have
thankfully. We have a new weapon that we're using. And we still have this Berubicin, which is FDA approved. And I think, what's going to happen. I'm sorry. It's FDA fast tracked, not approved. It's, what we're going to do with this, Doxil is today he got an infusion. In 3 weeks, he'll go get another infusion of Avastin and Doxil. And then 3 weeks later, get so 6 weeks out, get another MRI, see if anything's happening with his doxal, and then decide what comes next.
Yep.
I mean, the berubicin is probably, I mean, the stuff from the CF Foundation that was fast tracked was fast, but I don't know if it'll be that fast.
Well, I don't, maybe not FDA approval, but compassionate use probably get that.
Yeah, so if we don't see something, or we see a lot more progression in 6 weeks, we'll really hit that compassionate use hard for berubicin. You know, whatever, pay out of pocket or whatever. It's really exciting, you guys. Look it up. It's CNS Pharmaceutical Company. My mother-in-law, who's his stepmother / godmother, that's another story.
Another story for another day.
That's
definitely the long version.
she was so excited about it that she bought stock in it, and it's impressive, y'all. But it's a tiny little company, so hopefully the same thing doesn't happen that happened with Doxil, where they run out of funds and they can't go forward. But I think
you may want to talk to the CF Foundation.
No, they need to learn how to do some philanthropic
venture
philanthropy. That's what they need to figure out how to do. Go talk to the CF Foundation. Anyway, it's almost 10.
So the second half of this, or the second part, was 16 minutes. So we're good. I think we're good.
So we had a big come to Jesus because we've barely been speaking to each other, and it's been a shit show, and it's so stressful. And you guys, I'm serious. I'm so compelled, and I said this last time, I'm so compelled to do a YouTube channel because shit is real, you guys. It's like all the stuff that nobody talks about. You can talk about trials, you can talk about meds, you can talk about whatever shit you want to talk about. Jess just texted me about calling you out in the bathroom. It doesn't matter, I don't think, how well adjusted you are, and I don't know that we were ever really well adjusted, but it doesn't matter how well adjusted you are. It takes a toll, and this is what I don't know, I feel compelled to talk about because that's the real part of it. Like, everybody talks about the trials and the drugs and the access and healthcare, but nobody talks about the day-to-day and how it is affecting the family and how it's affecting the kids and how it's affecting everything. And I'm not, I mean, you people from Riverside know that I'm not working at Riverside anymore. And then I was presented with an opportunity someplace else that was very exciting, very good, really excited me. But I realized after being home for a couple of weeks how it actually had a calming effect on him, which trickled down to the kids. And I think to me, I knew then that I had to just be home because
they needed their mom here.
Who needed me here?
The kids, not me.
You didn't need me here?
Oh, that was the wrong thing to say. Sorry. Yes, I needed you here. More than the kids. I did, for sure.
Because it kept you from being a complete asshole to them.
Yeah, well, I told you a long time ago that I wanted you to stop working.
You did.
Long time ago.
You're right.
She stayed there probably 3 months too long. I'll talk to all you people over at Riverside about that. She stayed 3 months too long, but that was okay. Once she got away, she kind of realized that she felt a little bit better having some control over her schedule and a little bit more, not free time, not me time for the kids and for me. Or not me, her, but me. And she likes that better than, she likes supporting me more than she likes going to Riverside and doing her job. That's actually not true at all.
It's really not.
No, she loved her job, loved it, and would have done almost anything to continue doing what she was doing. It just wasn't a good fit any longer. So, it ended the way it needed to, but it's too bad because she was really good at what she did.
Good mom too, though.
Pretty good.
I'm a fucking amazing wife. I'm an amazing wife. Say it right now on camera. Say it. Say it right now in front of everybody.
You're an amazing support.
You're an asshole. Anyway.
You are an amazing mom, though.
Thanks, honey.
The shit that you do with Beanie is like magic. Duncan, too, really. Well, and then Jake also. Gavin, not so much.
Gavin's too much like you.
Yeah, that's why. She doesn't like me at all.
I mean, I do. No, I love you, but sometimes I don't like you.
Yeah.
Feelings mutual, right?
Sure.
So, we had a big come to Jesus because we literally were like not even speaking to each other for quite a long time. Weeks, maybe a month. And it was so weird because I'm like, what the fuck? Why aren't we talking to each other? And what the hell? What if he dies like in a month and we wasted all this time not speaking? But I was so pissed off. And you were so pissed off. And so finally we just sat there and at 1:00 in the morning at the lake house and said, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And what's happening? It would not have been good if we'd come on here before.
No.
It would not have been good. So I said, do you remember what I said to you?
I don't. I mean, yes, of course I do. But you could remind me.
I said, you just didn't seem like you wanted to be alive anymore. And that I was just irritating the shit out of you with trying to keep you alive. So I said, are you pissed off at me for bringing you back to life last year? Are you mad at me for that?
Yeah, you didn't say that.
I did.
Yeah. And I said no.
You said, I'm not mad at you about that. That's what you said. I'm not mad at you about that. ...
Yeah. Fill in whatever you like to.
Do you remember what you were mad at me about?
I don't.
It couldn't have been that important.
Well, it could have been important. It's just important or not important. I forget that shit either way. So don't feel too bad when I forget, bringing something in from the yard or picking something up at the grocery or where for my shirt.
That's been happening for 30 fucking years. Has nothing to do with your brain cancer.
That's what I'm saying. That's just me.
Anyway.
Love me or hate me. You don't get to choose both. I'm me, right?
I can choose both.
Yeah.
Depends on the moment.
Yeah.
What you said to me was, I'm not mad at you about that. And I said, what are you mad about? And you said, you don't give me any space to feel bad about my situation.
That is true. That's actually a true thing that I said, and it's a very true statement.
It is. I didn't I didn't think about it. It was. That's why I remember it, because I was like, holy shit. Okay. Noted. And you said it's fucking exhausting being positive all the time. And I'm a glass half full kind of person where I'm like, it could always be worse. It could always be worse. There are millions of people who have a worse situation than we do. And then I realized that is my own coping mechanism.
It's your defense mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So it feels very glass half full, but it's also a very don't deal with your own shit because somebody has it worse than you. Yeah, so that was, I don't remember what else we said that night. We talked for hours.
Kind of enough, yeah.
We talked for hours, but that was the
gist.
That was the gist.
The conclusion.
So I needed to give you space to, I don't want to say wallow because that has a bad connotation.
Every now and then to wallow, yeah. I'll take wallow.
Yeah.
Every now and then, yep. It's not a bad thing. It's okay to do that. I'm not weak because I do that. If I do that every now and then.
I won't say you're weak.
That's what I'm saying right now.
You just can't stay in the wallow.
Well, I don't. And I know that too. That's the last thing.
That's just what I get afraid about. that you'll just stay there and I can't get you out anymore. So we're working toward that. And then I said, if you're done, you're done. You need to tell me so I can wrap my mind around it and figure it out. Right?
Yeah. And what I say?
I'm not done.
I'm not done. Yeah. I needed something like this, Berubisol or whatever the fuck you're talking about, to say, okay, I've got something that gives me another like weapon that we're using that's going after the cancer, not just a side effect.
Not just like placating it.
Yeah. Not holding it off, but actually going to war with it. Which this stuff kind of gives me that.
If it gets in, it's doing it.
Yeah, and the other one.
Berubicin does.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's 2. So now I kind of have a game plan of, okay, we do this until then, and then if that doesn't work, then we can do this. So that having an on-deck batter gives me a lot of comfort.
Yeah, and the doctor added another layer of seizure meds, which also has a little happy pill mixed in.
I don't think that's doing anything.
I think it is.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, yeah, you told him that.
I did.
I don't feel it.
You're a little less douchey.
That's so nice.
I mean...
You're a little less douchey. Could you define that for us, please?
I
for our audience. We have 82.
I don't think
high level.
I don't think I need to explain that. I think it's very clear when you're just being a dick. You just don't... You're just...
Is it a dick or is it douchey?
You want me to say less douchey or less dicky?
Not less dicky. Mom would be offended.
She would be offended. Yeah. I mean, it is. It is what it is. Anyway, that's the train wreck part of the story. And that's where we are, and it's 10:08.
Yeah.
And
time to eat.
Dinner.
Yay!
Dinner
is Monday!
Anyway.
You just remember what they said at the center today. We asked them about keto, and they're like, we just don't like it because it's hard to be careful of what you're watching, eating.
You can't gain weight.
Not gaining weight. I'm like, I'll show you gain weight.
There's 5 pounds of cheese in that shit.
I got all sorts of that under control.
Yeah.
I could lose a few pounds. It wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah.
That's one of the other issues with my left hand is I've gotten so freaking fat I can't get my damn pants around my waist.
I was trying to buckle his pants for this weekend, and I was like, honey, suck in. Not that I'm one to talk, but...
Yeah, I got a date with a seamstress, or not a seamstress.
let all your pants out.
Yeah, I might need just a little let out.
Anyway, all right. Well, go eat some meatless Monday.
Okay.
I'm not eating now. I'm just gonna have another glass of wine.
Well, it is wine time.
For God's sake. All right, you guys. I'm sorry that it's taken so long and that we're a fucking scattered disaster. But
you're not a scattered disaster.
I'm not a scattered disaster at all.
No.
There's nothing wrong with my look.
No, your look is gorgeous.
Anyway, I would say I promise to be better, but
she won't.
Who the fuck knows? Just depends on the day.
Hopefully we made you laugh.
Maybe when school starts again, we'll have a schedule. And if COVID can stay at bay, all the variants, the kids will be in school, we'll have a schedule. And we won't be eating dinner at
If you're watching Loki, that has a different meaning.
It does have a different meaning. Yeah. The time variant. We're not going to go into the Loki juice. We're going to go.
We're going to go have dinner.
Iron Man, then maybe Thor and Black Panther.
What color is Thor's juice? That's what we want to know.
Doesn't
we have green, we have red. What's Thor? Shoot, you were saying what?
Fucking hot.
Easy. I can feel your steam coming off you right now.
Anyway, we love you guys.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that we're shitty and not good at keeping you up to date, but that's the game plan. And we're going to try to be better. And then they don't have to be so freaking long. They can be like 15-minute segments, in and out, boom, boom, boom. Maybe.
This was 45.
It's really fucking
I think it was 15 was the first part.
Sorry.
This is 30.
He also has a situation with his head right now. Turn your head. See? I don't know if you can see that, but his skull is actually showing. Do you guys remember when he had to get the piece removed from his head when the metal was coming through? Well, they've had to do 3 different things now here, and now it's just literal skull showing through his head. Skull.
That's
Apparently
awesome.
that's fine.
Another thing to look forward to.
Apparently that's fine.
Yeah, doctor's like,
the good news about this new drug is one of the side effects is that some people lose their hair.
Oh, well, I was like, damn, I don't have to shave for, a few weeks.
I wonder if it would make you lose your chest hair.
I hope so.
I do too.
He did.
Just kidding.
They said maybe my beard goes away, but that's all right. I can grow back.
Anyway,
if I want
we
to.
need to eat and go to bed and maybe watch a show.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of the journey. We love you, and we suck, and we appreciate your patience.
Peace out.
Love you. Bye.
Mm-hmm.